Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks so much for being here and tuning in to the latest update video on Halston Lakeside and Elliot Cocoplum, which are two properties that are part of the Ashcroft Value-Add Fund III. We're recording this video here in January of 2024, and these are the latest updates for you. All right, let's kick it off with Halston Lakeside in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. The occupancy on this property is holding around 87% currently. We're targeting 90% occupancy by the first week of February in hopes to stabilize this asset by the end of February. As a quick reminder, it's not uncommon to see occupancy drop and to see higher than expected turnover on properties that we've just acquired, as it's the new shop in town, new ownership, new property management. We're doing renovations on site. The rents are starting to come up. So that's to be expected, and that's the softening that we're experiencing right now on this property. And on the construction front, we're about 90% complete already with the exterior renovation scope, and this includes things like the dog park and the tennis courts and the pickleball courts. And we're also repaving the entire property. So we're about 60% done with that renovation scope. And the leasing office has now gone through several rounds of design, and we're finally at the stage of approval. We expect to get started on those renovations in the coming weeks. As far as interior renovations, meaning the units themselves, these are being well received by prospective renters and new residents on the property. We've already turned 49 units on this property, and here's a few pictures to share with you. Now switching gears to Elliot Cocoplum, located in Coconut Creek, Florida. This is a submarket of Fort Lauderdale. We're happy to report that the trending occupancy on this property is holding at 91% currently, and over the next 14 days, we anticipate being closer to 94% occupied. Similar to Halston Lakeside, we continue to work through this periodic time of lower occupancy and managing the delinquencies. The goal, of course, as always, is to stabilize these properties as soon as possible. Now moving on to the construction side, unfortunately, the city of Coconut Creek has requested that we use a different roofing material than the one that we had selected and budgeted for. So we're working with land use attorneys right now, and we're evaluating different material types and finding the best path forward. Unfortunately, this may add to an increased cost on the renovation, so we're simultaneously looking at other exterior renovation projects across the board and finding out where we could save a little money and cut costs in those areas. So as we wait for material samples and further approvals, we've chosen to wait on some other exterior projects such as the clubhouse, which has now been designed and approved. We anticipate getting started with that in the coming weeks, but we do need to get a better grasp on what we need to budget for the new roof material and costs. And as far as the interior unit renovations, these are also being well received by the market, similar to Halston Lakeside. We've already been able to turn 35 units on this property, and all of that renovation scope has been within our proposed budget. And some other good news as it pertains to both of these properties, as they're both Florida properties. We're now entering into prime leasing season. It's a little different in Florida compared to other markets, so we look forward to what's in store here in 2024. And as a quick and final reminder, this is your last chance to invest in AVAF3 if you haven't done so already. If you're already invested in the fund, we're grateful for your partnership. Just please know you can add to your investment before we close out this fund in its entirety. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're always happy to assist and connect with you. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, stay tuned for more updates, and have a great week, everyone.